What up, Junkies? Welcome to another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro, and tonight we're going to be talking about the War of the Marvels and essentially the reactions for Captain Marvel. The movie are coming out, but as we know, there is actually another Captain Marvel getting ready to come up the month after that, which is Shazam, also known historically as Captain Marvel. But you know, we got a whole bunch of really fun things to talk about. So without further ado, I'm gonna introduce who's gonna be on the show with me today. The great GQ is first up. How you doing, bro?
Well, I'm doing well. Just enjoying life and buying Dragon Ball on Blu-ray since it's cheap.
Which Dragon Ball are we talking about? Dragon Ball Kai, Dragon Ball Z?
Z. I don't care about Kai. It's all about all of Z. I want all the filler episodes. All of them.
Oh man, you mean like that the one with Piccolo and Goku taking the driving lesson?
Hell
Dude, that was
yeah, the driving lessons, all
greatest.
of that.
Yes.
All of that. So
yes.
once Super comes out, I mean Super's out, but once it gets, you know, super cheap, then I'll start getting that, because the first, I think, two seasons of Super that you get are basically the first two movies. So I'm like, that's not worth buying right now. But all the old episodes, yeah, I'm picking those up at Best Buy, send a check. So that's what's been going on with me.
Awesome. The great Dada Kuji is on the show. What's up, bro?
Hi there. No, I was there. I'm just trying to get the Twitch up because, you know, you try to monitor these chats. So I hope everybody joins us, Twitch or YouTube or Facebook. It'd be great. Love to talk to you guys. Nice to see you. Hi.
Yeah. Everybody will trickle in. Last but not least, Super Nerd Plus is also on the show. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody?
So what'd you do this weekend?
Not a damn thing.
Not
a damn thing.
Really?
I got a bunch of books I gotta catch up. I got a bunch of games I gotta finish up. That's it.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So, you know, hey, so real quick, so today there was some news about the real reason why the Netflix shows were canceled on Netflix, and as most people have always said, is primarily because Netflix did not have a full share in the actual shows. They didn't own them, but also they're trying to say, oh well, the reasoning is also because Marvel wouldn't agree to going down to 10 episodes as opposed to 13. Anybody buying that nonsense?
Nope, because we know what business is. It's going straight to Hulu. And we keep trying to tell these people everything's gonna be all right. It's gonna be on Hulu. They forgot that Disney owns 60% of Hulu's stake. So exactly. it's fine. I don't know why everybody getting all bent out of shape like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. Yeah. It's on Hulu. Relax.
Yeah.
Not only that, it's like they gotta wait 2 years. They gotta wait 2 years to bring anything to air. That don't mean they can't have 2 years worth of work getting done right now.
Being the fact it takes that long to get a goddamn season out of this thing, might as well be shooting them now.
Look at it like this, right? So in 2 years, right, is the next time that we can get a Daredevil show. You realize it is now 2019. The last season of Luke Cage was last year. The last season of Daredevil was last year. Last season of Iron Fist was last year, which means that literally next year we could have new seasons of Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist on Hulu. Like, it's really not that long to wait.
I think that's good. But the thing is, there's no word of that they've been shooting it out there, because from my understanding, when Daredevil ended, though it was last year, what's that woman's name that plays this, not the secretary, but they're you know,
the lawyer.
Yeah, well, she's not a lawyer, but she,
Karen
you know,
Page.
the reporter. Yeah, Karen Page. I was gonna say Karen Page. Is that her name? Her actual name?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say
Deborah Ann Woll.
Okay, that's what I wanted. The actress, she was on record talking about she was disappointed that they got canceled, and like, for me, you would think that, okay, if they got something planned on Hulu, which I hope they do, that the production wouldn't have stopped. So what if Netflix canceled it? You got to keep that production going.
But the thing is, if the production was partially handled through Netflix or some of their channels, then that means that they got to basically get rid of that crew or go through the different scenario, different setup. And not only that, you got to remember, actors and actresses are just contracted people. They don't always sit in on the meetings as far as, hey, we about to ramp up production, start up, blah blah blah.
Right.
Only thing they get a call from their agent, hey, clear your schedule because you're about to go back on Daredevil and shoot for the next 4 weeks or whatever it's going to be.
Exactly.
No. I look forward to when it's going to happen because one of the reasons, I wouldn't say one of the reasons why I got Netflix, because I think I had Netflix before then, but I started watching it a lot more because those shows, and then they started putting like other stuff on there. So
wait, hold on. Did you just say you think you had Netflix? Man, you had Netflix when Netflix first started, back when they was mailing you DVDs. I want to hear it.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. True. I kind of forgot about that. I just meant.
You was there on the ground level. I don't want to hear it.
I was there on the ground level, mainly for the DVDs, because wink, 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 wink. I was copying that shit, but I don't have any of them anymore because the hard drive I copied it to died.
Wow, son.
Yeah,
I mean, the hard drive died. I put it out there. I don't have them anymore.
He was bootlegging. Yeah, no, that was the way to live, though. That was the way to live back in the day, man. You know,
just say back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. You know,
back in the day when I was young, I was copying disc, and that disc they just not here anymore.
Hey, you know what? If you wanna keep on giving us bars, you know, I can have Super Nerd Plus. You know, maybe hook you up, get you in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
McCray, want to say what's up to you out there. I want to say what's up to our old friend Q is also in the chat. Sharita Jackson, my favorite culture junkie who likes to pester me about
The Fifth Element.
That movie. Yeah, that movie. And is also in the chat.
You do need to see it.
I know. I need to see it. I know.
Hold on. I don't know if I can agree that Netflix is life, because if your internet goes down, Netflix is pointless.
Very true.
That is
true. I'm just letting you know.
That's why we have the optical disc, right? That's exactly why we buy the optical disc.
I have physical copies of everything. I'm just saying. I mean, again, nothing against Netflix, but it's just when that internet goes down, there's so many services that you cannot just access, use, or do anything. I'm just like, man, I love having you.
Shout out to my hard drive.
or that, yes, or that.
Right.
Shout out to
my hard drive died, so I can't freaking even rely on the hard drive because the hard drive died. I mean, I rely on physical discs. The thing about physical discs are great, except for when you travel. And when I travel, I still want to watch my movies, so I got to do one or two things. Netflix does let you download them, which is nice, and I managed to watch a bunch of TV shows last time I was traveling because I downloaded them ahead of time.
That's what a CD wallet is for, man. All those discs are still CD.
This guy just said CD wallet.
CD wallet?
Yeah.
CD wallet?
Yeah. I still have a CD wallet for movies.
I'm trying to pack light, man. I'm not trying to take that stuff with me because I don't want people. Hold on. Disappear when you're on travel sometimes.
How thick is that boy, man? I want to hear this. How thick is it?
You act like it's the biggest thing in the world, man.
How many pages is that boy? How many pages?
This is one that I actually got from EB Games to show you how old that bad boy is. But it can hold. It's got six little flip back and forth, so it can hold 12 discs. Yeah, and it's only like this.
I think that's cool and dandy, except for I don't like putting eggs in baskets. Not like that. If I'm gonna, granted, it's easier to replace the DVDs, CDs, Blu-rays, what have you, than it is like a tablet or something like that. I get it, 100%, but it's just if I lose it and I'm just me, I probably would go rebuy a tablet. Those discs, I'm like, all right, well.
Right. Well, see, again, and that goes back to it depends on how you pack when you travel. Because again, for me, my carry-on is the most valuable thing I carry.
Oh yeah,
it has my laptop, it has my tablet, it has my movies, it has my controllers for my emulator for my laptop. I mean, so it's got like everything to keep me occupied on the plane and also at the hotel if I'm just bored. So nothing goes into my nothing goes into my actual luggage.
Shout out to that GQ survival pack. I love that, man. That's awesome.
Exactly.
That is awesome. So hey guys, Miaoyan hit me to a fan art picture of Mahershala Ali as Blade, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. It's right here on the screen, so all you guys can see it. So we know Mahershala Ali is,
oh my gosh, go take it off.
Talented.
Take it off.
Oh, well, come on, man. Let me get through it first.
Sorry, go ahead and say your thing. Oh gosh.
So Mahershala Ali, obviously a very talented actor, is in True Detective, was in the Green Book, is also Cottonmouth from the first season of Luke Cage. Fantastic actor, but a lot of people are, making a lot of noise about maybe seeing him as Blade. So I wanted to get the pulse of the nation out there real fast. Yay or nay to Mahershala Ali as Blade? Yes or no?
Nay.
I'm with it.
Not that picture, dude.
Here's my thing. What's up to Tony Young in the chat? I'm going to say it this way. Everybody always wants to talk about can he act. Obviously, the man can act, but can he fight? That's the important thing. If you're gonna play Blade, you got to be able to fight. And I refuse to accept a Blade that's just gonna be making it look bad. Because now granted, we could be shocked and surprised because 20 years ago, you couldn't have told me that Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu.
I was just about to say that.
But realistically, I'm sorry. I want somebody that is a martial artist first, and and a trained actor second to be Blade. I'm sorry. That's Wesley set the bar so freaking high. You have to have somebody that can fight playing that role. Period. I don't give a damn how great of an actor they are. Blade is mainly about that action, and then the way that he acts and his attitude or whatever. Because again, let's just be real. Wesley basically made him just straight up like a black dude with an attitude. That's all he was, but he could kick your ass. That was the important part about Blade. Just about any black man could channel their inner Blade and be Blade. If you aren't a martial artist, it's not going to work for me.
No, I hear you. No, I totally hear you, and I'll put it back up on the screen so everybody can see it.
Gosh, nightmare fuel.
Silly as hell, but
yeah. That smile. Who the fuck smiles like that? And then he got the teeth. Come on, man. Blade don't smile. Blade is kind of like Machete, bro.
It looks like an old picture from the '80s. Old rap from the '80s.
Right. They found his high school picture or something.
Right.
They ain't gonna lie.
I had a high school picture. That's hilarious.
I had a high school party back in high school too. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, see, Maurice Baker said it clearly as day. All you got to do is remember Sticky Fingers on the Blade TV show, and your answer should be no.
Bruh. I couldn't watch that show.
No, I
couldn't watch it, man. It was bad.
Marcus Smith brought up Michael Jai White as Blade. I'm going to say no to that, and here's why. I'm going to say no to that.
What's that?
Michael Jai White, honestly, it's not that he's too big to be Blade now. I'm going to be thinking about Black Dynamite if he's Blade. and that's I'm not supposed to be doing that, because it's like as many times as Dido and I watched Black Dynamite that one summer when it came out, like it's hard to separate him from that role, especially when he's doing martial arts now. So it's just like maybe like 10 years ago he could have been Blade and I would have been cool with it. I think now, honestly, and especially since he has this one freaking Western that's supposed to be coming out that's been in, I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but I want to see that too. But I think like they need a young martial artist, young African-American, or, he could probably be another British dude playing Blade straight up, because I can't, Michael Jai White to me is just, he's good, but he's too, and it's weird to say it, but he's too big to be Blade right now. It just wouldn't work.
Okay.
It's odd, but it's a weird thing. Like I said, they need 10 years ago, all day, every day, but now it's hard to picture him as Blade.
I'm gonna tell you personally, I don't know who could play Blade. I've seen some this one dude that was on the internet doing some martial arts stuff, and he was a black guy. He's beating up some dummy doing flips and shit like that. And
I remember that. I don't
know, maybe he could. I have no idea. I'm not one for remembering people's names and stuff like that when it comes to who could play who. But that picture, if I saw that picture, I laughed my ass off. I was like, no way, no. I mean, when it comes to martial arts, it's probably best to have somebody who knows what they're doing. But, and look, I'm going to throw a name out there. You guys can agree with me or not. He played in 3 freaking movies. One of them was really good. One of them was just okay. The last one was kind of bullshit. And he didn't have any martial arts training prior to that movie, which I think he did work on that movie. It was Keanu Reeves and The Matrix. And the movie was enjoyable, and he did what he did. He did a fairly good job. Not Blade style. Don't get me wrong, but within the right hands and the right motivation, you can act to make it look good.
Wait a minute.
But I don't know if that's going to be, suitable enough.
I think Becca Moore in the chat on Facebook might be lost. She says, I was sitting here from Pookie, who said she was auctioning off of this couch. Refund on $5.90. Wait a minute. What does it say? It says, now I pay $4.99 for the link. Refund on my PayPal, and I will leave. What the hell? That's hilarious. I don't know.
I was in the wrong spot.
I I would gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Absolutely.
On that one.
Absolutely. That was funny.
I'll let you know that Tuesday will never come. Just to let you know.
Tuesday was yesterday. You know, I guess you got to wait until next Tuesday.
Which will all of a sudden become Wednesday on its own. Skip a day. Right. Yeah, sorry. If you pay $4.99 to click on a link, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you either.
The days of the party line, and remember that like every number used to end at 976 or something like that.
Oh yeah,
on the party line.
I could have sworn that they killed Pookie, man. I think they found that freaking camera on him. They killed Pookie.
Oh yeah, they did. They did, man.
So
Pookie's gone. Oh, Pookie's gone.
Hey, Smellian, how are you, girl? How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's Wednesday. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, real quick before we move off the topic, I'll let you throw in your 2 cents. Mashallah Alia's Blade, yay or nay?
Oh, excuse me.
I mean, I don't know. I want to see him play more villains, so not really. But the guy who I don't remember his name, but he was in Aquaman. You guys know he played Black Manta.
Yeah, Abdul.
I know who he speak.
Yeah.
I figured. I mean, he would be a good Blade, huh?
His head's too big.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only person I would throw in the ring. I just want new talent, really, and I think he's a new talent. So
well, as long as it ain't Damon Wayans,
he's not a totally new talent, but you know he's a new-ish talent. He's a newer talent. So you know.
Also, no Michael B. Jordan either.
He's gonna be Superman, bro. So come on.
No.
Yeah.
He's gonna be that Calvin Ellis, man. He's gonna be Superman, Barack Obama.
Let me say this, and it might sound bad, but I'm putting the disclaimer out there first. We need somebody very, very chocolate to play Blade to replace Wesley.
Very chocolate. Wait a minute, we got some colorism going on up in the chat. What's going on here?
No, but I mean, come on. To replace Wesley, you got to get somebody who. We got enough people.
Wait. So no Shamar Moore?
Absolutely not.
Can't be no light skin Blade.
How about Boris Cujo?
Hell no.
No, man, you can't do that. So Eric Nolan says Pookie said you ratted on him and got him sent back to jail. So you were auctioning off his couch. He must be following up to Becca. So you know, moving right along. So the next topic on the show that we're going to talk about is Umbrella Academy season 1. You know, just came out last past Friday. A lot of people seem to really like it. You know, some people for the most part are not liking it because of Ellen Page. I've heard because Ellen Page is Ellen Page, but you know, but overall, what were our feelings on the show? I didn't get to see it yet. I will see it. I know a lot of people really love Mary J. Blige, but I'll turn it over to Super Nerd. You read the books, you watched the show. What was good about it? What was not good about it?
So it definitely explained a lot of stuff that the book didn't. Don't get me wrong, the book was brilliant. I love the books. Just certain things in the books just it didn't explain much. It just happened. It was just there. You know, it was just one of the things that came up in conversation type of thing, and there was a lot of time travel too. So you get kind of maybe it was me. I got kind of confused on certain things, but I think the show really expanded on certain topics that wasn't expanded into the books, and I think the character development was really good. I like how they did the character, and then I like the fact that it was diversity too, because in the books, I mean, there's clearly white. But they didn't force the diversity. They said 47 women got pregnant from all over the country, and 7 of them were picked. So you don't know where they came from. Obviously, you know where they're diverse, you know how their skin color is, but they don't tell you where they're from. So I definitely like what they did with that. They did change certain things, and I know how some people say change things from the comic books and they hate it. I didn't have no problem with it. Because I think it moved the story along with they talked about Space Boy and how he became Space Boy, which is Luther #1 if you don't know who that character is. And they talk about how this character became, how they became to be, how this character died. So it explained more things that I enjoyed. And in the ending of it, definitely the ending was changed. which is fine by me because I think they're just milking it because they know they got a hit. I think that's the main reason why they changed the ending of the TV show than the book. So
now,
I think they're gonna try to.
Are the books still going like right now?
Oh, the book, yeah. The new books are out right now. Hotel Oblivion is out right now, and I'm reading them, but I'm lost as shit because I haven't read the books in a long time. So I gotta do some re-up and see what's going on. But like, the new books kind of not correlate, but like they came out at the same time they introduced the show. So people can pick up the books and read those, and the artwork is amazing in the books. But yeah, they definitely changed the ending, and so basically, the TV show, they put both volumes because volume 1 and volume 2 are two different things, but they kind of merged it together. But it kind of made sense, so that's why you see Hazel and Cha-Cha more into the story, and you see them have they developed them as a character as well. Because I don't remember them. I don't think they even showed their face in the comic book, so they had the mask on the whole time. So it's kind of cool they showed that side of Hazel and Cha-Cha. So yeah, they kind of mixed volume 1 and volume 2 together. So that's a cool thing. I don't have no problem with it because, like, I guess, consider this book how it was written. It needed to be explained more on the show so people can understand. I think that's the reason why they changed certain things so people can follow along easier. Because if you read the books, maybe like I said, maybe it's just me. I got lost a few times. Like, what the hell? What am I missed something? So I think they did a great job on the show, and I can't wait for season 2 because I really really like this the show.
Dido, you also watched it, and let me get the perspective of someone that didn't read the books. What did you think about the show? What did you like, not like?
Well, being the fact that I did not read the books, it was very interesting to me finding out the backstories of all these characters. I kind of like, when I describe it to people, I call it like the dysfunctional X-Men. Because if you think about it, the monocle guy, whatever the hell his name is, it's kind of like an asshole Professor X. And they basically had, what's her name? Jean Grey, and he was just fucking stifling her. He just like, fuck her. Not really like that. I guess he was doing stuff to help bring out their potential, but he was just being an asshole about it. And I kind of liked how it did, but they were all dysfunctional, and it was just trying to see their backstory, see how they fit together. I think was kind of cool. That whole thing with Ellen Page, somebody compared her to Janine Garofalo. Maybe she didn't act like that at all in this.
No. That's actually a really good comparison, though. That's but
a really good comparison. Janine Garofalo seems like the same, deadpan character in everything I've seen her in. And this this TV show, Ellen Page does seem like a character who is just, kind of meek and timid. And there's a reason for that. And, the way she is.
So kind of the way she was in X2 as Kitty.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Ellen Page, but I mean, they didn't really show her a lot, because I think each person that they had, like, they only 5 episodes because they switch around throughout the episodes, so you only see so much of them. So, I didn't have a problem with her as the White Violin. That's her name in the comic book, or Vanna. So I didn't have a problem as Ellen Page, whatever. Is what it is. But the only thing they changed about her is in the book she hated her family, whereas in the TV show she loves her family, and you kind of see that dwindling down, that hatred for them, which is, I think, is pretty cool how they did that. You see she loves her family at first, and then you can see the dwindling of not liking her family. So that's the only slight thing they changed, and there's a few other things they changed too, but I'm not going to give it away. But other than that, I had no problem with her as that character. So it is what it is. Like, you want to see so much of her, because we all know who the real star was, and he's like a star in the book too. I hope you can. What's so funny?
No. I have to give it to Becca more because she's trying to give it to me in the chat, and I love it actually. She says Emmett Smith in the wool hat, calm down and start the couch auction.
Wow!
Start the couch auction. The price is starting at $25 million.
Yeah,
really?
I need the gavel first, though. I need a gavel first, so that would be pretty dope, though. That's pretty awesome. I like that. I do like that. That's hilarious. Hello to Mike Oliver in the chat. Go ahead.
Real quick, Kelly Dudley brought up a very interesting choice for Blade. Elin Noel from he was in the first Purge movie. He was the star of that movie. He was decent.
Yeah. I think he could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a pretty decent job, and he's dark enough for Lena's taste. So
nice.
I'll look into this.
Okay.
Grown ass men talking comic books. They single.
Well, that's not true. That's not true at all.
I'm single on notoriously. So
that's not true.
I have zero problem.
I'm sorry, but
I don't think she knows very well, do she?
What are you even talking about?
I think
Becca Moore in the chat, just trying to be a troll. That's but that's okay.
Well, that's why I'm saying.
Bring some
What is she even talking?
friends in here.
Hey, bring that shit.
But that's what I'm saying. What is she even talking about? That makes sense.
I love it.
She high as fuck because she think we auctioning off a goddamn couch, man.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Hey, if that bring more viewers, so be it. Bring more couches in.
That's cool. Hey, the couches have holes in them, like smoking cigarette butts and all that kind of stuff too. So I don't know. She said she's asking me what's my husband now. Yeah, hilarious. Can
I say something really quick on Ellen Page? Now, I haven't watched Umbrella Academy. I'm gonna probably start watching it. Probably Friday, right. But I don't understand how people say that she plays the same role in every. No, she has the same look, I will say, in a lot of movies, but I don't think she has the same, plays the same role, because she played Kitty, and that was very different from Juno, and then Juno was very different from Hard Candy, because she was creepy in Hard Candy. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it though. I heard she did a good job.
I think it's her face. I don't know if it's her face or the way she carries herself. I will say her expressions, because we have the same thing, which I'm going to get to later with our other conversation. There's a lot of folk who just, their expressions don't really change. And because of that, we sometimes say that their acting is the same, which is not the same. That's not mutually exclusive, but whatever. I look forward to seeing the show. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing it too. How many episodes? What is it? 10 episodes I saw? I think?
Yeah, just 10. 56 minutes.
So I'm looking forward to watching. That's like one day's worth of binging, and I know a lot of people, managed to complete it in one day and really loved it. I saw Bianca's in the chat earlier. She said actually that she's watching it for the second time right now, so it must be pretty good. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. Can't wait. So guess what, guys? We got a kind of a new segment that we're going to be doing today, and it's called This Day in Gaming History. Now, so this day in gaming history, we had we have a couple of new releases. One of them being the release on PS3 in 2007 of Virtua Fighter 5 first came out. And when it came out, it was like, it's been 12 years since Virtua Fighter 5 came out, and when it came out, it looks awesome, but what in the hell were they thinking with this running commentary as the game is going on, right? It was so distracting just watching the game, and it was like there was no way to turn it off. Who else remembers that when you first got it?
Well, I don't remember that at all. I think you can turn it off in the options, dude. I don't recall. I recall the fighting commentary, but see, if this is the PlayStation 3 version, I didn't buy the PlayStation 3 version because you couldn't play it online, and I thought that was a big thing at the time, even though when the Xbox 360 version came out online, I probably played it online 5 times, and that was it.
You couldn't play it online. That's right.
Yeah, so I didn't even bother buying the PlayStation 3 version of this one. I just got it when it came on Xbox. And I don't recall that being in there. Right now, I think I want to go get this one just so I can have all the Virtua Fighters, but as a collection thing.
The completionist in you have to have this, huh?
Yeah, part of me says I gotta get it. I mean, you can probably find it for $4. So why the hell not? Right now, I think I have all the other Virtua Fighters.
Probably less than that, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, Just I just kind of want to have it. For the collective part of me does that for whatever reason. I just want to have certain games. Don't know why. Like, what's the point of me even having this one?
There is really no point because there's no real good single player mode. Like, remember when Virtua Fighter 4 Final Showdown came out? It was like the best Virtua Fighter home release ever seen. Like, it had a really great single player mode, which was like like a quest mode where you went around to other arcades beating like computer AI, and of course playing the local matches against your boys was really fun too. But this game it seemed very short on good single player options. As much as I love Virtua Fighter, and I do, I have to admit that this release was just really lacking, and it probably has a lot to do with why Virtua Fighter didn't catch on in America like it does overseas. Like, it's kind of big overseas.
I don't know if you remember when Virtua Fighter 4 came out. Virtua Fighter 4 brought back a lot of people to Virtua Fighter because, like, one being the first one that came out, 2 came out about the same time. Tekken came out, and they were almost head to head. But I think in the U.S., Tekken started to, take over Tekken 1, 2, and 3. But when Virtua Fighter 4 came out, a lot of people started to flock back, including myself. But I think the thing is because Sega made it for the arcade. And for whatever reason, they don't think like how Namco thinks. Is like, okay, this is the arcade release. Let's do more for the home release. And Sega just basically puts out the arcade game and like, oh, here you go. And everybody in America is like, well, I'm going to spend $60 on a game. Right. You need to give me more. Like, if you look at Soul Calibur, since Soul Calibur 1, you've been getting so many freaking options or Soul Blade, excuse me. Soul Blade for the PlayStation 1. You had a lot of freaking options. And when Soul Calibur came out, they had that freaking quest mode and all that other stuff. It's just for whatever reason, Sega, they don't think like that. And that's one of the downfalls, I think, Sega.
So the other game that came out in 1987 was the Contra on the in the arcades. Now, we all know Contra. We love Contra, even though, we made fun of Dotto last week for his struggles.
Was it struggling? I just didn't know.
His struggles in the fire stage. We still gotta get that video uploaded, by the way. But yeah, I didn't like Contra in the arcade really as much as you did, at home because of the Konami code. It's like literally that's it.
It just ran funny to me. It's just he ran weird, he jumped weird.
Yeah,
it had better graphics, but it was just like,
yeah. Even though it had better graphics, I like the NES release a lot better. It was
yeah.
We all did.
Yeah, I mean, even the music was better to me on the NES, even though it's literally the same thing. But for whatever reason, Contra in the arcade or on the home version was just more iconic. Something about 8-bit music.
Agreed.
It just does it for you.
I used to hate playing with my cousin.
Wow.
When he was kid. Motherfucker always get killed all the damn time. Shit. I could never get past the damn second level because of his ass.
Yeah, two-player Contra, you got to have somebody that knows how to play. Because if you get stuck with a partner that can't play, especially if they don't know how to scroll the screen properly.
Right.
Dude, his hand-eye coordination.
Don't worry, I know how to duck now.
I was that cousin. I was that person.
Oh,
everybody.
And then when we played Turtles, the Turtles 2 on NES, he would take all the damn pizza.
Dude, I hated dudes that did that. Like, knowing that you got like a sliver of life left, and here comes like some 5 or 6 year old kid run across the screen, grab the pizza real fast. Like you.
But here's the thing: in the arcades, that would get your ass kicked.
Absolutely.
If you had 3 people, doing their thing, it's usually Leo, Donnie, and every now and again Raph, or sometimes Mike. This depended. Right. And you always going through it, fighting Rocksteady and Bebop, going through it, got to the 3rd stage or 4th stage or something. And then that one little kid decided he want to come in and mom gave him, and just had to put his quarter. He just put his quarter in, he appeared, and they go right for the pizza. It's like, hold on, dude, hold on. You didn't earn that pizza yet, man. You ain't got no bodies under your belt.
You didn't put in on this, man.
Right. You have no foot soldiers on your list of kills, so can't have it. Oh yeah, there you go. Tony Young's 100% right. The meat snatchers on Final Fight.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
I had to kind of not babysit, but there was a Valentine's Day ball last weekend for the community center at the at a hotel out here. A big swanky event. I don't like getting dressed up. I don't like being swanky. So my wife, who is the director at the center, was like, "Could you just like bring some video games and keep the kids from running around the hotel?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Brought my Switch, got some beat 'em up games in there, a 4-player game called Bloody Zombie, and yeah, it's the same thing. You're going through these kids and you beat them up, and as soon as the health comes, you got one kid going. I was like, you don't even need it. Stop grabbing this stuff. Like, why are you? I need your freaking health. Why are you grabbing it?
Yes.
So absolutely. I think it's just a thing. They see it, they want to grab it just because.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. So anyway, so that's this day in video game history. Next week we'll be back with some more classic video games that we played. So let's get back to the main topic, and the main topic this week is the War of the Marvels. Now, today or was it yesterday? No, it was today. The initial reactions to Captain Marvel were finally released. So. There's been a lot of noise about negative review bombing, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. But let's focus on what the positive reviews were, and I'll turn it over to the resident lady in the house, Miao Yin. What's the influence on you on the reactions to Captain Marvel? Did it change your mind on the movie? So,
well, as we all know, I take reviews and look at them and throw them in the trash. They had no effect on me whatsoever. I will go see it for myself. I've been fooled before. I will not be fooled again. And yeah, that's just how it is. I don't usually like for myself right now. This movie just seems like okay, this is another part in the saga of Marvel Universe, and. It's kind of a speed bump in history right now, is how I feel about the film. But that does not mean I'm not going to watch it. I probably will. Because it features the Air Force, by the way. Go Air Force.
So you have a political leaning as to why you want to go see this movie and root for
That
this
is
movie.
not a political leaning one.
I mean, you got
that
some
is
kind of
not a political leaning
bias to go in to go see this movie. I get it.
It's near and dear to my heart.
I get it. Yeah, that's cool.
It features the Air Force in some background that I find interesting because, as I have said before, and I will say again, Carol is not my Captain Marvel.
Monica is.
Preach.
So, yes.
Monica is. No, I get it. So
she came before. She came before her.
Well, as Captain Marvel, yeah, but. As a character, no, but anyway, that's semantics.
You see her face? She gave you that side look.
Yeah, I know.
She gave you that side look, fam.
I have to shout out to Tony Young, who I have forced. Go on.
Right. So, in the chat, our boy Prodigy from Black and Black Times Xfinity, he's been a huge hater of this film, like from the jump, and you'll see all his comments. They're scrolling on the screen right now. In the chat. He hates this movie with a passion. But from all accounts, they say that this is one of the more fun Marvel movies. But
how do you hate something before you watch it, though?
Dude, let me tell you, this guy can go on for days.
I just don't quite understand. It's like this film. You have yet to experience.
He doesn't care.
You have yet to experience.
No, he doesn't care.
But I hate it.
Right, he doesn't care.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
That just sounds stupid.
He doesn't care.
I don't know.
No, like literally, he does not care. So there's a lot of reasons people love or hate this film, or are indifferent for this film.
It looks like one of his hates is because of Civil War II, the comic book.
Yeah.
Quit comparing a goddamn comic book to movies. Different universe. Got movie. Fucking universe 616 213 344. Fucking the movie universe is not the comic book. Just stop it. God, we're all goddamn nerds, but it's been 10 years. It's not that comic book. God damn it.
I have to admit that was really funny. That was really funny. I have to admit that was really, really funny. No, a lot of people, you know, have hated in this film for a lot of various reasons. One of them being, you know, that Brie Larson is a feminist, and she's been getting a lot of flack for kind of what she said about not wanting the press tour to be full of the opinions of white males. And now, of course, that has triggered the trolls, and they have come out in full force by review bombing this film yesterday. And a lot of their
let's be real. What does any of that have to do with whether the movie is good or not?
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I totally
agree with you. I totally agree.
I could care less that a couple of weeks ago Liam Neeson wanted to, you know, years ago when one of his relatives or somebody got raped by an African American or a black person or whoever the hell it was.
Allegedly.
Well, no, either way, whether that way or not. I have zero problems with him saying what he said, because anybody that's in that situation is gonna feel that same way. You going around, you looking for somebody to hurt. Period. Man, period. If anything, you have to be a blood relative. If any one of y'all's loved one got, man, I'm going out looking for somebody to hurt.
Right. No, and I understand that.
But to me, that doesn't mean any one of Liam Neeson's movies are not still good to me. I don't give a damn. Dude still does his thing in the films. So what they do outside of their acting and in their personal life means nothing to me. If the movie is good, the movie is good, period. So
like, no,
that's kind of weak.
Right. It is weak, but they are becoming a very loud, vocal minority. And this is like a trend that we've noticed starting since Wonder Woman was getting ready to come out. It seems like, you know, misogynist men are getting triggered by empowering women characters kind of getting the spotlight. You know, Wonder Woman was first, you know, Captain Marvel's coming now, Black Widow's rumored to be coming soon. And everywhere you turn, anytime these movies are mentioned or talked about or being pushed, they're always saying, it's like, nobody wants this movie, you know, they should just, you know, they're secondary characters, they're not worth, you know, being pushed or deserving of films and stuff like that. So, you know, I say this to ask, you know, with what happened with Black Panther, what happened with Wonder Woman, with what happened with Star Wars The Last Jedi, you know, is all this shit like really starting to get out of hand, and like, what can we do to kind of stop it?
I will say it would, like, part of your answer was in your question. A very loud minority. It's a small group of people throwing a tantrum. Let them do that. They're gonna do it in every film. They find a reason to do it all the time. Go sit over there in the corner. Let the adults talk. Let the adults enjoy. That's how I feel about that. Because I mean, she said this in an interview for Women's Magazine and all this kind of stuff. So they went fishing for this stuff. This isn't like, they were looking for some reason to be oppressed. They looking for some reason to be mad. They looking for stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead and over there and sit down. Nobody's talking to them. Nobody cares. Because the thing about it, in my opinion, is if we give them like this attention, that means that it makes a difference, which it doesn't.
Right. And, you know, I was just about to say it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. And, you know, honestly, what if you read the quote and what she said? She didn't say anything wrong. There was nothing she said that was inherently wrong with what she said. What she was about, you know, which was taken out of context, was that she wanted to promote the voices of minorities, promote the voices of, you know, women, because she were like, you know, she was like, I don't want to hear from white males about this movie, because this movie is literally not for you. This is not made for you. This is not about you. So I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from the other people that this movie is for. That's literally all she was saying. And of course they took that and they ran with it. They took it and ran with it. So, you know, I was just saying, you know, it's just crazy how they work. But, you know, another thing I kind of thought was this might have an effect on how Shazam performs. Now, we all know that Shazam is getting ready to come out in April, which is like literally, and it's going to come out mere weeks before Avengers Endgame, and might have maybe, like we said, over under 2 weeks for it to make, you know, some money. But I'm wondering if what a lot of these misogynist males, because Shazam is all about, you know, the white male fantasy of being powerful and stuff like that, even though it's an allegory for kid wish fulfillment, that Shazam might perform a little bit better because these dudes are going to be, you know, trying to fluff it up. So what do you say to that? And besides, the last trailer that it had was, you know, has been getting some pretty positive news or positive reviews as well. So, you know, what do you think about possibly Shazam benefiting from a lot of this outrage that is coming out over Captain Marvel?
I have zero real true interest in Shazam outside of going to see it because it's a comic book movie. Realistically, I've never truly liked the character of Billy Batson, or I get the idea of, oh, it'd be great to be a superhero, but he's a one-trick pony as far as I'm concerned. It's like, if somebody kills the kid, okay, well, then that's the end of that. So unless he just walks around as Shazam all the time, he's pretty vulnerable. So, I mean, that's, you know, it's kind of, again, it's a one-trick thing. It's a one-hit wonder. It's like, I don't really have a lot of interest in that. And then again, it goes back to, it's DC trying to be complete tonal shift, like they're going full bore comedy, and I don't really like full bore comedy. It's like Deadpool does a comedy that works for me because it's very sarcastic, it's very self-aware. But if you're giving me slapstick just for the hell of giving me slapstick, then you've lost my interest because I don't do comedy like that. It's just not interesting to me. It's like I grew up and stopped watching Three Stooges when I was 7. So slapstick can only go so far.
Well, you know, I think Shazam as a character, again, is all about wish fulfillment, you know, fulfilling the dreams that, you know, a lot of people would love to just be able to say a magic word. It's like, it's almost like the ultimate in escapist fantasy, when you really think about it. Say a magic word, get superpowers. Like, what kid wouldn't want that, you know?
I'd rather have unlimited money. That would be a great superpower. Because
I mean, sure, that's more practical. Sure.
Anything else you want will fall into line if you have unlimited money. Give me unlimited money over superpowers any day of the week.
Okay, we know how that is, but no, I think, you know, Captain Marvel looks like it's going to be a good film. Shazam looks like it's going to be fun. Aquaman was fun. You know, I think, you know, this is just going to prove that, you know, DC is further on the right track. I mean, I'll be honest, like Captain Marvel, none of the stuff grabbed me. And again, maybe that was by design. Maybe literally Marvel was like, you know, pulling the ultimate, you know, Jedi mind trick on people again, like saying, you know, well, we're going to make this look as, you know, make this look as bland as possible, or, you know, they figure a lot of women are going to go see it, and there's going to be like this groundswell of a push from minority represented groups that are going to go and see this movie. Like, there's a movement, right? You know, literally, there's a movement out there to fund taking girls to go and see this movie. And, you know, it's supposed to be for girls, but they're saying that they're going to allow boys to come, and these are school-aged children. So I think a similar groundswell, not nearly to the effect that Black Panther had, but I think a similar groundswell is starting to begin for Captain Marvel to push, you know, this movie up. And I know early reactions like these that came out today are very integral to that. You know, some of them may be planted, some of them may not be. I'm not going to deny that, you know, those types of things don't happen, because I'm sure they do. But Captain Marvel never grabbed me from any of the trailers, but, you know, ultimately I still think it's going to be fun. They say Ben Mendelsohn is a great Skrull villain. They say he's another really good villain, and they said without him this movie does not work. So I'm interested to see that as well. You know, Sam Jackson and the Cat, they say the Cat steals the show a little bit too, but they say, you know, they said Brie Larson herself is, you know, pretty awesome in the role, but ultimately, Lashana Lynch, who's playing Monica Rambeau's mother, I think, is also an integral part of this. Like, she's the heart of the
Maria.
film. So yeah. So how do you feel when you hear that, Miayan, when that Lashana Lynch and Maria Rambeau is going to be like the heart of this film? How's that make you feel when you hear that?
I mean, I'll have to see the movie to find out. Like, when they did the flash of, you know, the jet and they showed her and everything, that's what actually piqued my interest, because there was not a lot about this film that piqued my interest from the trailers, like I've said. Mm-hmm. But also,
what's the problem with Brie Larson? Add that too. What's the problem with Brie Larson? That's scary.
Well, I'll get to that in a minute. But I will going back to Shazam, like, or Captain Marvel. Anyway,
right.
While the character isn't very, very interesting, you know, it came back from that era where most of the characters didn't have a lot of personality, in my opinion. That's why we have Superman. But I think that they made this film look interesting and look fun and look like it's something. It has a lot of comedy in it, but it's a superhero movie. It actually pulled you in and like made you interesting in it, because as GQ said, excuse me, the character isn't terribly interesting, but for me, the trailers actually was like, boom, I'm in there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to see this because I need to know more. Mm-hmm. Captain Marvel didn't do that for me. I was like, okay, Sam Jackson. And then, okay, you have Monica, or not Monica, you have Monica's mother, Maria, in it. You know, they showed that little flash, and that's just like, okay, that piques my interest. But it's not like, oh, yeah, I'm ready for some Carol and boom, and I didn't get that from her. And then Brie Larson, she's a decent actress, but like we were saying with Ellen Page, she has a resting face, and her expressions don't change much, and you often see her in the very same way. Like, she's, you know, she has a maybe a typecasted look or something to her. So it's just kind of like, meh.
Here's the thing, though. That's kind of the same thing you get from the stoic male lead character. So why can't she do it too?
Right.
I'm not saying that you don't get that. You don't get that from all of them. You get that from some of them. You get that from certain people, and this is why I'm very vocal on who some of these people are, Matt Damon. So, you know, it's just, it is Ben what Affleck, it is. I call it out either, you know, Ben Affleck too, but, you know, watch Gone Girl, then watch Batman versus Superman, and you swear Bruce Wayne was in Gone Girl. So, you know, he has the same thing, and I call it out across the board, but I just don't get I don't get anything from her. But again, I'm going to watch it. I'm excited to see it, but I'm more excited to actually watch Shazam. Mm-hmm. That's just me, though.
You know, and I have to say something to my boy Prodigy in the chat, man. He's literally been bombing the hell out of the chat, you know, for like 20 minutes, you know, spewing all of his vitriol for this film and for the character herself. But, you know, he said, you know, we're not really, we're not really hyped for this movie. And, you know, he's glad that we're keeping it real. We will always keep it real, you know, no matter what. We could be 100% in the tank for one company or another, but we always going to give you the truth. Always gonna give you the truth.
Listen,
that's what we are.
As far as the movie goes, I mean, it's just gonna tell a story for Endgame to happen. So it is what it is. You know, some of the Marvel movies, usually I watch it just because it continues the story. It continues the story. That's all it is for. It's just filler, like some of the comic books. Some of the comic books may not be great. It just fills the story.
And that's kind of like what I was gonna chime in on, because the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you go see the movies, yes, because they do have their individual movies, but they all had a bigger purpose, and the bigger purpose was leading up to Endgame, and Captain Marvel has still got some purpose going leading up to Endgame, and I have a strong feeling, I'm probably going to be wrong, because I usually am wrong about a lot of stuff, that it's going to show things that are very important to Endgame, as well as hopefully some starting points for the new season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., hopefully. unless they really took the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. out of the universe and threw it to another universe. But regardless of that, it's coming a month before Endgame. And if you remember the end of Avengers Infinity War, right before Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury was about to, blow away in the wind, he pressed the button. And I don't know if he just pressed the button because that's a new movie coming out. I'm pretty sure he pressed the button because she's also gonna be at fucking Endgame. So it's like, come on. That whole thing in the trailer, when you got that one person that's supposedly digitally erased, people are guessing, oh, it could be this person, it could be this person. Why is anybody guessing it's gonna be Captain Marvel?
Right, it could be Carol. Yeah, absolutely.
Who the hell was doing shooting at the fucking targets? I didn't even see that person's face real well. That didn't look like Pepper Potts.
No, it was Natasha. It was Natasha.
She got blonde hair again. It looks a lot longer.
I mean, I hope it's Pepper Potts though.
I mean, so, I mean, if it's Pepper Potts, that'd be really something else. But
yeah, she's probably dead.
I'd be okay with it.
Don't want to be part of the no more. From my understanding, she doesn't want to be part of. She's too old to be in superhero movies.
She doesn't. It's not that she doesn't want to be a part of it. Her contract is up, but at the same time, she realizes that she's too old to be running around in a suit and stuff like that, which is. I mean, hey,
girl, sit down. She's too old for that. Look, I would like to see. I can't sign off on that. I can't sign off on that. She need to stop saying, like, maybe she just doesn't want to do it. She should come out and say that, but she shouldn't be saying that she's too old because, I'm pretty sure if Linda Carter, somebody told her to don Wonder Woman right now, she'd be on it.
No, look, Gwyneth is skinny for Wonder Woman too.
Right.
Just like Gal is.
Yeah, but Gwyneth at least did say that she's more than open to coming back on a contract by contract or by a cameo basis. But I don't think she wants to do a whole full movie again. And really, she hasn't done a full movie in a long time anyway. So,
we don't. She can be replaced.
You showed up for one day in Infinity War. You showed up for one day. Like, what are you worried about? Like, man, that's
you do your other movies.
Right. It's like, I will gladly step in and take over duties for some of these actors that don't want to act.
Right.
Cut that check, Disney. I'll take
it.
Cut that check. I'll take it. Right. Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. But Captain Marvel, as much as it was lacking in hype and is still lacking in hype, and I think a lot of people will feel like some of this hype is very manufactured, and I can't disagree with that stance.
What do you mean manufactured? Like
manufactured
low hype is manufactured?
As in, I feel like some of the hype that it is getting is due to a advertising push, because for me personally, and probably even yourself, none of the trailers grabbed you. None of the TV spots really grabbed you. So
you do realize that advertising, that's the entire point of advertising.
I get that. But what I'm saying is that part of the advertising push and the hype behind it is due to some of those trailers really hitting home, and none of those trailers did.
Well, not for us. Maybe it resonated with some people, but not us.
You're trying to generalize the entire population.
No, and you're right. Yeah. I'm just saying if some people are making the argument that the hype behind it is manufactured, I'm not going to disagree with that stance because I partially feel the same way. But it is still a Marvel Cinematic movie, and it is deserving. Or there isn't.
Manufactured hype. Like, dude, it's either people are going to go see the movie or they're not. It has nothing to do with hype.
Well, I disagree on this because I know there are folks that are very excited for the film, that are big fans of Carol as Captain Marvel, and I'm not going to sit here and say that their excitement for the movie, because it doesn't match mine, is manufactured. So I would just say we just don't feel the same way as those folks.
Okay, and
I wouldn't say it's manufactured hype.
Like one of my good friends, Seth, who I used to work with, is a super Carol fan. I've never seen a guy be that hyped for Carol Danvers. I mean, he had a Captain Marvel mug before the trailer even came out, when we were still working together. Shout out to my boy Seth, who hopefully is watching the show at home. But no, he had the mug. He's been super excited. He's been very vocal about his support for this film. I don't know. I don't necessarily feel the same way. And again, you know, whether it's, if some people say they feel like the hype is phony because they didn't feel ensnared by the initial trailers that have come out. I mean, that's up to them to say that. I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to necessarily agree, but I'm not going to disagree with their stance on it either. That's all I'm saying. Is that, you know, they feel like some of the hype is not really deserved. That it's
my point is, I would disagree with that, because there are certain things that I know that I'm hyped for and that a lot of other people are not hyped for, don't care about, and would say something is trash. Catwoman, for example. So if you say and tell me that that's manufactured hype, it's not. It's my hype. It's, you know, how I feel about it. So when people say stuff like manufactured hype, that goes down the little rabbit hole of these conspiracy theories saying that these companies are doing X, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just not here for it. So I will disagree. Even if again, as I've said, you know, this whole time, I'm not hyped for it. I didn't care for it. Will I watch it? Yes. But I'm not going to sit here and say, for people who are excited, people who are hyped for it, that is some made up thing in a lab to say, all right, we got to give this a boost. Okay. Because, yeah, this is just not what I'm going to do.
Okay, so Prodigy is saying that he's apparently asked everybody, because he said nobody was hyped from the trailer. So he's asked everybody that's ever seen the trailer for their answer, and I guess they all answered in the affirmative. I highly doubt that. Also, he's trying to compare Captain Marvel's trailer reaction to that of Black Panther and Infinity War, which
is stupid. Never should you do that.
That doesn't even make any sense. One is a cultural phenomenon in the sense of Hollywood allowing a major, large budget, big studio film with a 95+% Black cast being made, and the other is a culmination of 10 years of story building and universe building. So Carol Danvers being the first female lead film after Wonder Woman has already, you know, been established and already happened. It's like, you're not going to get those levels of hype from any film. Because if you want to go that route, then okay, why didn't Batman v Superman get more hype than Infinity War? So I mean, it's a straw man argument to even try to present it. But it's like, again, at the end of the day, the movie's going to make money. The movie's going to come out. The movie's going to get, you know, whatever reviews it gets, and it's going to lead into an end game. So,
and that's all it needs, really. When you think about it, that's all it needs.
It's going to serve its purpose because, again, this is a plan that's been well laid.
Yeah, BVS had big hype until that third trailer.
The second trailer where they laid out the entire line.
That was The second trailer, I was like, wait a minute, what?
The hype died after that second trailer because it's like exactly what's going to happen.
Girl, let me tell you. After I saw that second trailer,
the hype died when people saw the movie and they were like, nah, this is trash. That's when the hype died.
No. When the second trailer come out, that's when the red flags kind of came out. Because we were like, wait a minute.
No. Y'all talking in hindsight now. Because before y'all went through, yes, you are.
No, we not.
Run the tape.
Tell this girl.
Run the tape.
I'll speak for myself. On that one.
Please, man, no.
Here's how my process with that went. You presented to me, and like I said, I'm probably gonna have to do this one of these days and do a trailer campaign for Batman v Superman the way it's supposed to be done. But the way they presented that was Batman and Superman are going to fight, and that's what you need to know. Batman and Superman are going to fight. They're going to throw down. It's going to be, you know, something great. And the moment they did the whole Wonder Woman shows up, and they did the whole Is She With You? They did the whole Doomsday shows up. It's like, You've just told me in this film their conflict doesn't mean a damn thing because it's going to be resolved before the credits roll. So it's like
they killed all the suspense.
It killed anything that made me really hype. The only thing that got me back interested was the third trailer when they showed Batman in the warehouse fight. Other than that, Batman v Superman shot itself in the foot from the moment that second trailer dropped. So that's just truth.
Right. I mean, I was still going to see the movie,
not disputing. Look, I'm not disputing that they shot themselves in the foot when they were doing the trailers. What I'm disputing is when the hype train died. The hype train died after maybe that second week, or first, I'll give it the first or second week after the film actually dropped. That's when the hype train died.
That's that's when it ground to a halt, but it kind of started after that second trailer.
Nope.
It kind of started after that second trailer. We can agree to disagree on that. I'm just saying.
You can go back and forth on it all day, and even if it had big hype or not, the movie still underperformed.
Yeah, it did, and that cannot be disputed at all. That cannot be disputed. So anyway, we've had a very vigorous discussion on Captain Marvel, Shazam to a little bit of a lesser extent, and also Batman v Superman. That movie will not.
Shazam's going to be an afterthought. It come April. It's going to come out. It's going to have its 2 weeks of fun, and Avengers is going to destroy it.
I don't know who's in charge of scheduling, but
that movie should have came out in February.
It should have come out in February, and at the very least, it should come out late March at the least. At the latest, could give it to at least 3 or 4 weeks, because you aren't kidding. When Endgame comes out, this movie's going to get destroyed, just absolutely obliterated. Like, no one's going to be thinking about it.
It might get destroyed after the first weekend if it's as goofy looking as the daggone trailers are showing.
I'm not going to go that far. I think it's going to be great. Yeah, I'm not going to go that far. It still looks fun. I think it'll do respectable money, but will it make $1 billion? Hell no. Hell no.
It's gonna get my money for that first weekend when we all go see it. That's it.
Right. So Prodigy says Avengers Endgame is gonna go over $3 billion. I could tangibly possibly see that, but that's asking a whole lot. That's asking a lot.
Not only that, to say that Shazam might go over 700. You ain't doing that in 2 weeks. Sorry.
It might go over 700 worldwide because of China. I'll give you that. Over here, no.
You got some diehard DC fans that's gonna be like, I'm gonna see shit. I'm not gonna go see Captain Marvel. I'm gonna see Shazam. I'm not seeing Avengers. I'm just gonna see Shazam because DC's the best.
As much as I loved Aquaman, and I did, the only reason it broke $1 billion was because of China. Only reason it broke $1 billion
is because of Momoa tax.
All those Momoa fans and the women going to go see it multiple times.
No.
You didn't hear about the girl that put a freaking topless freaking Jason Momoa on some freaking mimosas or Momoa cookies, Girl Scout cookies,
I did hear
to sell
about
them?
I did.
So you're trying to tell me that his freaking naked ass body is not selling shit? It is.
I'm not okay. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna. I can't deny that. No, that's.
I wish I could do that for freaking other stuff. They don't
like what other stuff, man? Like what?
I like cookies, and I want topless women on my cookies.
Is that right? That's awesome. So anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to get out of here. We hope you all had a fun time. We glad that you all stopped by, and even the trolls that stopped by in our Facebook chat. And Nick Pierce is the latest one to join, saying, did you miss the auction? Yeah, the auction is over. The couch sold for what? How much did the couch sell for? $10?
$55,000.
No, it was $250 million.
$250 million. Okay. All right.
Million.
Sweet. All right, sweet. So anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. If you enjoyed the show, come back next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, for the next episode of Culture Junkies Live. Stay tuned to our Facebook page and our Twitter to check out what any updates are going to happen if we as we announce them. And if you guys did anybody go see Battle Angel Alita this past weekend as well, that hadn't seen it already?
No, I did not see that.
Seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either, but you know, it's getting a really good groundswell of fan reactions. I've had some of my friends that, you know, I wouldn't necessarily count on going to see it say it was really good. So I'm very much looking forward to going to go see it for myself. There goes Prodigy again saying, you know, something's trash, but a lot of my friends seem to like it, so I'll trust them. So anyway,
I thought it was good.
Yeah, so I will judge for myself and go and see it. But we hope you all have a fantastic week. We'll see you guys next week Wednesday. For my boys, Daidakuji, GQ, Super Nerd Plus, and my girl, my #1 girl, Miao Yin. I'll see you guys next week. I'm Kenshiro. Peace out.
Peace.
Good night.
Bubbly, bubbly, bye.
Go Air Force.
Hoorah!